you have rather used in C programming language before. I'll write a small program here, in C language only. Just to illustrate pointers. Okay, I wrote a small program here where I took two variables, integer a and p is a pointer here. Okay, how do you identify that variable is a pointer? When a variable is declared with asterisk preceded with, then you consider that variable as a pointer in C language. Okay, otherwise you consider it as a normal variable. Fine. So generally pointers will hold the address of another variable of the same type. So here, what is happening? I just execute this program. I'm just tracing the program here. When you execute this program, what happens? Okay. So you have declared a variable a. So for a, 2 bytes of memory been allocated, and then you have declared p, which is a pointer. For pointer also memory been allocated. But as I said, pointer requires how much memory? It needs the memory to hold 1 byte address. So hardly 2 bytes. Okay, fine. So integer also in C language requires 2 bytes anyway. Let us say the first byte address of a is 100. Okay, and this memory also will have some address. Let us say 200. Now what is that you're saying? P equal to ampersand a. Ampersand, what is ampersand? Ampersand is an address operator. Okay, so what is that you're saying? Address of a you are assigning to p. So what is the address of a? That is 100. 100 will be assigned to p, means in p you will get 100. Okay, so now p can point to this memory. Fine, it can access this memory. Now you're saying a equal to 2. When you say a equal to 2, what happens? In a, 2 is placed. Got it. Now the next statement, when the statement has been executed, first the right side part will be evaluated, and whatever the value that you get out of it will be assigned to the left hand side. Okay, so here asterisk p acts as a dereferencing operator. So here it works as value at the address held by p. Okay, value at the address held by p is what? 2 here. So 2 plus 3 is going to be 5, and this is going to be placed in, see, the same asterisk when it's being used on the left hand side, it will act as reference set. When it is used in the right hand side, it will act as a value at. Okay, reference set in the sense that it is going to refer the memory. So it means referring which memory it is referring. P is referring this memory, right? So the value that you have obtained out of this evaluation is 5. So that 5 will be placed in the memory. Okay, in the memory referenced by p, which is nothing but this. Then this value is going to be replaced with 5. So your a value will be 5 now here, right? Now with the help of printf statement, you are going to print it. You're saying a equal to percentage d. Okay, and then here you're saying asterisk p equal to percentage d, double quote comma, then you have a comma asterisk p. So in place of this percentage d, a value will be displayed. What is that a value? A value is 5. So you will get 5 here. And then in place of this percentage d, you will get asterisk p. Asterisk p is nothing but value at the address held by P, okay, which is nothing but again 5 only, right? So you can see here the same memory. This is the same memory which is being accessed here through A. This is said to be direct way accessing, and through pointer. This is said to be indirect way of accessing. So with the help of pointers, you can access the memory indirectly. This is one advantage that we have discussed with pointers. Okay. Next, let us look at the how pointers can be used with arrays. Of course, you may have referred it in C language. I just give you a little idea about the same. For example, you have an array, and there is a pointer. Okay. So in order to access this particular array with the help of pointer, what is that you have to say is P equal to either ampersand A0 or you say just A. Okay. See, array name is also a pointer here. See, when you declare A of 10, for A of 10 memory been allocated rather, right? So for 10 elements, whatever the memory required will be allocated. The entire memory is being pointed through A, and with the help of indexing, the array elements are going to be accessed rather, right? A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, like that, right? Okay. Now, if you see array name, okay, array name holds the base address. Let us say, for example, the first array element address is, let us say, 100. And here the array is integer kind, so every integer requires 2 bytes. So if I say, for example, the first byte address of the first element is 100, then the next element, next byte address will be 101, obviously. Then the next element address will start from 102, and subsequent element will start with 104. Okay, then 106, like that. Okay. The array name holds the base address. What is the base address? The first byte address is the base address. Okay. So when I say P equal to A, P is a pointer here. For P also memory will be allocated. 2 bytes of memory will be allocated. Now, when I say P equal to A value will be assigned to P. So what is A here? 100. 100 is assigned to P. Then P will also point to the same memory. Here you can see A and P more or like same. A and P now both are the equal elements, you can say rather, right? P plus I, okay, P plus I. So where I is an addition to the pointer. Pointer is holding what? 100. So 100 means is going to access the first element, right? So if I use a for loop here, okay, if I use a for loop where I starts with 0, I equal to I less than, or I less than, yeah, I less than 10, I plus plus if I say, and if I mechanism, if I'm using this mechanism P plus I and A plus I also I can use. Got my point? It means if I am using pointers, and with the help of pointers, if I am referring an array, then I can access this entire memory through either A or through P, and I can have these 4 ways of accessing the entire memory. Fine. So this you may have not observed, but then this is possible. You can just work out with it. You will probably see the same result. Okay, I'll just show you with a small demonstration for this. Okay, let me just go to my screen is entirely visible rather, right? Just tell me if it is not visible. Can you see online GDB here?
Yes, sir, we can see it.
Yes, sir, we can see.
Yeah, so in this you can see the example. If you want me to increase this font size, I will increase. Otherwise, if it is visible, let's okay. An iterator I, okay. And next statement is P equal to A, we said. Okay, now it means P is now referring the memory which has been created for A. So the other way around, P and A both are pointing to that array elements. Okay. Now in the next statement you are saying printf enter array of 3 elements. Then now you are accepting the element with the help of scanf statement. Fine. So for I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus you're saying. Now while you're accessing the memory with the help of pointer, as I said, there are two mechanisms. You can either access it through P plus I, okay, P plus I, or you can access it directly with ampersand P of I, which we generally use it for array indexing, okay. Or you can access it with the help of A plus I. A plus I is the pointer mechanism which you can rather apply to array, right? And then you can access it through ampersand A of I. This one you were using earlier rather, right? In first stage you may have used this ampersand A of I to access the array element while accepting the values for that array, right? So here, in addition to this, I can say I can use ampersand P of I or A plus I, or I can use P plus I. Either of them you use, you will get the same kind of result. Okay. So similarly, while printing, after you accept the elements, you're accepting 3 elements here, then you are printing the same which you have accepted. Here asterisk of I say. Okay, again, run the program, and you're getting the same result, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got the same result. I can change it with array mechanism also, right? Instead of P, I can just say either of these mechanisms you can rather work with. Fine. Similarly, pointers can be used with structures also. Fine. I'll show you an example. Generally, structures are the semicolon, right? S comma asterisk P use it, right? So now there is a variable S is created, and there is another pointer variable asterisk P is created. Both are of which kind? Student kind. Now, if I want to, then you have name, and name is a string of 10 characters, so 10 bytes of memory been allocated. And now percentage of marks, so percentage of marks is a float kind, so it requires 4 bytes. So entirely around 16 bytes of memory been allocated here, right? So these are all being accessed through S. General way of accessing through structure, that is S dot. You use dot as the membership operator to access the members of the structure, right? If I want to access name, then I say S dot name, right? Good. But then with the help of pointer, I want to do it, right? So here I have declared a pointer of the same student kind. Then I said P equal to ampersand S. When you say P equal to ampersand S, the address of S is nothing but the base address. Base address is nothing but probably the first byte address of this entire memory. The members of the structure all will be stored in contiguous location. Fine. So the first member's first byte is said to be the base address. So this is going to be assigned to P. I mean, you say ampersand P equal to ampersand S. Now P will point to this entire memory. This whole as a single unit now, right? And this whole can be now referred through P also. Fine. But while accessing through P these members, how do you access? With the help of dereferencing operator called arrow. Fine. You use arrow here. Arrow means hyphen, and hyphen in the sense minus of hyphen then greater than. Hyphen greater than will act as a dereferencing operator in case of when you are accessing the structure members through a pointer. So if I have to access number, say P in direction, generally there are different terminologies being used. Arrow you say dereferencing operator. Dereferencing operator is what the correct name, right? You are referring and separating that member and accessing it through the pointer P. So you say this is dereferencing operator. Fine. When you are accessing the values through pointer, we will be accessing it with the help of dereferencing operator. So in case of structures, the dereferencing operator is arrow. Fine. So the members of the structures you access it through is arrow. Fine. So you can see here, enter the student details such as number, name, and percentage of marks inside. Right. So now you are reading. You are accepting number is an integer, so percentage D is the form specifier, and name is a string for which percentage S is the form specifier. Then you have percentage of marks, which is a float, so form specifier for it is percentage F. So double quote close and comma. Then now while reading here, you need to read it with the help of address. So you say address of P dereferencing operator number. Okay, arrow. You can see here P indirection. While accepting strings for strings you don't use ampersand, because string name itself is holding the address. As I said, array name holds what? The address. So string is also an array, character array. So the name itself will hold the base address of this entire array. So you need to pass the address while reading the string. So you just say P arrow dereferencing operator, say, right? P dereferencing operator name, comma. Now while accepting the value for percentage of marks, which is a float, you say ampersand P dereferencing operator percentage of marks. Now while printing the same, you just use a printf statement here. Print number equal to, in place of this percentage D, what do you get after double quote comma? Whatever the first variable is there will be displayed here. What is the first variable or the value which is you having here? P dereferencing operator number. So whatever the value that you have read here will be displayed here. Similarly, for the next form specifier which you have is percentage S. In place of this percentage S, the second variable of the value after double quote comma which you have is P dereferencing operator name. So that will be displayed here. And then percentage of marks equal to percentage F. You say in place of this percentage F, what will be displayed? The percentage of marks, rather, right? You are accessing it with the help of pointer. P dereferencing operator percentage of marks. Fine. So this is how you access the memory with the help of a pointer when this entire memory is being pointed through the pointer. Okay. So you can see asterisk is also a dereferencing operator. If you are using simple variables, you use asterisk to access through the pointer. But when a pointer is pointing to an entire structure where you have a set of numbers, and all these numbers have to be separated and then to be accessed, so you will be using this particular dereferencing operator, that is arrow. Let us execute this and just see the output. So now it is asking us the number, enter the student details such as number, name, and percentage of marks. So number is, let us say, 24, and student name is Raj. Percentage of marks, let us say 84.67. Okay, float value. Now the output is going to be displayed here. Student number is 24, name is equal to Raj, percentage of marks equal to 84.66. Okay, fine. So when I am using a pointer to point to a structure and accessing the members of the same, I will be using arrow as the dereferencing operator in C language. Okay, got it. So this is clear, I think. So how to use pointer with arrays, how to use pointer with structure. Sorry, references. In addition to pointers, we are having references. As I said, a reference kind of thing is available in C as well, but in an implicit mechanism. But then in C++, you can see the same in an explicit way. Fine. So the same concept is being used in Java. So in Java, you don't have pointers, but you have reference. Reference also will do the same thing as that of pointers, of course, right? So reference variables in C++. Okay, ampersand J. This J is not a normal variable. Okay, this is said to be the reference variable. This is said to be the reference variable in C++. Ampersand J. So here Now the question is whether the reference variables will get some memory allocated separately, like how pointer get allocated with some memory. No, this is the difference between the pointer and the reference. Okay, so pointers also memory will be allocated, we said, right, whenever you declare a pointer. And how do you declare a pointer? If a variable is preceded with an asterisk operator, you say it is a pointer. But if a variable is preceded with an ampersand, I say it is a reference variable. This is how the declaration point of view, if you see the difference between the reference and the pointer is, the pointer variables are preceded with asterisk and reference variables are preceded with ampersand. This is the first difference. Fine, at the declaration time. And the second difference between the pointer and the reference is, for pointers, memory will be allocated. Okay, hardly 2 bytes of memory. It holds the address of another variable of the same type, which it does want to rather point or refer. Okay, but whereas in reference, for reference variable, memory will not be allocated. Okay, for J, memory will not be allocated, but rather it just act as an alias name to I. It just act as an alias name to I. For I, you have already, when you have set I created, for I, memory already been allocated. So for I, already memory been allocated. When you say ampersand J equal to I, and you can see there is another difference, assigning, declaring a reference variable and initializing. Both I am doing at the declaration time only. What the point? This is another difference between the reference and the pointer. When I declare a pointer, after declaring the pointer, I assign the variable to whom this pointer rather want to point. But then in reference variable, at the time of declaration only, you are initializing the variable to which this particular reference variable will act as an alias name to that. Okay, so it means here J, but J memory will not be allocated separately, rather it just act as an alias name to I. Okay, so I and J both can now point to this particular memory. For the point, so this memory was actually been allocated for I, but then this can be as well referred by J. It means this memory, I can access it through I in the same program, and I can access the same memory with J in the same program. In the same program, this memory, I can access it through either I or J. Fine. So this is another difference. So you may have now got the difference clear between the pointer and the reference. Pointer is explicitly referring, whereas reference is implicitly. Okay, that you can see. Fine. But then here in C++, we are having reference variables explicitly declared, and then we are making use of them. Okay, initialization of the reference variables, if you see, is done during the declaration time only. Okay, you don't do it after it, rather, right? You do it at the time of declaration only. Fine. So immediately after, when you initialize the reference variable with some variable, then it will act as an alias to that particular variable. So now you can see the rest of the execution. You can understand I equal to 2 when you say in this memory only, because I is referring this memory. So in this memory, value will be placed. The 2 value will be placed. The next statement you have is J equal to I plus 2. When you say I plus 2, when I say the value of I is nothing but 2, so it means 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 will be placed in J. J is also referring the same. It means this will be replaced with 4. Okay, the next statement you have is I equal to J into 2. What is J? J is again 4, because the same memory being referred by J. So you get 4 here. 4 into 2 is going to be 8. And 8 is going to be placed in I, means the same thing. It means the same memory, where you get